have beef with Remotasks and I'm ready to talk about it. This is another episode of my failed side hustle diary. Now, if you haven't heard of Remotasks, they're basically Data Annotation's biggest competitor. It's still all about training AI and chatbots and all of that. I think Remotasks is a little bit easier to get into because they're a little bit lesser known. I got into Remotasks, I never got into data annotation. Now, Remotasks, first and foremost, you owe me $110. But let's bring it back to the beginning. So from the get-go, Remotasks was such a pain to work with. The onboarding process was a nightmare. I ran into problems at every step of the way, had to contact customer support at least 3 times, and don't even get me started with their Slack setup. There is definitely something going wrong there because I was getting so many notifications, so many DMs from people who were confused about what was going on, and believe me, I was just as confused as they were. So here's why they owe me money. I got invited to a project, and on that project you had to take a test and get approved. The test claimed that there was 25 questions, so as I was taking the questions, I was marking off one by one how many questions I finished so that I knew how much further I had left to go. The bonus for passing this test was going to be $100, and it was clearly written on the page. There was no disclaimer, nothing you had to work a certain number of hours to get that bonus like they have now. They changed that because I'm sure a lot of people have run into the same problem that I did. So around question 21, the style of questions changed, and I thought it was still part of the test. So I continued working on questions, and by question 30, I was like, okay, this is too much. I need to exit out. When I did, I checked my email and it turns out that I had passed the test. Well, what happened was that I passed the test and then it just pushed me into the work dashboard. So I was actually working for free, but mind you, I had no training. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just doing the best I could with what I had. And after I took the training, which was meant to be another $10, so there's your $110 you owe me, I realized that I was doing it all wrong. It was terrible. It was the complete opposite of what they were looking for. So it's no surprise that all of that work was marked as unsatisfactory and I was immediately kicked out of the project. When I tried to contact customer support about what happened, about why the work was so bad, and to point out that I didn't even get paid for it anyways, it was crickets. When I reached out again to try to get my $110 credited to me because I spent a couple hours taking the test, I took all of the training afterwards after I realized I had been accepted before I got removed, I got messages back asking for screenshots for proof. I don't know about any of you, but I don't automatically take screenshots of every single page that I visit because I trust the company that they're going to be good on their word. Well, turns out if you're using Remotasks, you should probably start taking screenshots anytime they promise you any type of money.